winning in the online home business arena. Now, what we're going to go through as we have officially started here is we're going to go through, how to guarantee the success and long-term profitability of your home business, your home-based business in an ever-changing online landscape. And the reason that I decided to bring everyone here today to do this is, we all get involved with home business opportunities kind of for our own reasons. Some people because they look into their future and it's not the future they want and they want more freedom. Other people because they're put into financial situations where they're kind of forced to create more income. And then once people get involved in the online home business world, they're met with, especially today, especially online, all kinds of information, people telling you what you should do, how you should do it, and a lot of it can be contradictory to each other. And so what I want to make sure that I go through with you guys here tonight is just a few things. I mean, if we want to scroll down here, you can see we have a long outline, so I've got a lot of stuff to cover with you. But my goals for us tonight, by the way, pen and paper handy, be taking notes, is to help you guys understand the online landscape as far as growing your home business is concerned. I'd like to talk a little bit about choosing the right opportunity for you and how you want to grow your business. This is one of those things that to me is not brought to light enough, and it's one of the most critical decisions you need to make at the beginning of your business because it can either create a lot of strife and a lot of stress, or it can be the exact reason that you're going to propel into the level of profitability and the lifestyle that you want to live with your business. Everything's got to be in alignment. So we're going to talk about choosing the right business for you and how you want to grow. We're going to talk about what happens to most people, and it happened to me. We all kind of get started backwards, and it's not your fault. It wasn't my fault. It's just because of how we think and react as humans when we get involved in a home-based business. I'm going to be sharing some hard truths, so get ready for that section. It might be one of those points where you grit down a little bit and you just say, oh, all right, fine, I got to do this. So these are critical things that you're going to need to do and get handled, really, if you want to be successful. So we're going to spend some time there. We're going to talk about marketing your business. So once we know the landscape, we've kind of gone through the hard truths. We've thought about how to choose the right business for you or me or whoever. We're going to talk about then marketing that business. We're going to talk about different profit and recruiting models. As you guys might know, I've been online in the home business arena. I'm going to start out with my story in just a couple of seconds. But I've been here for between 5 and 6 years, going on 6 years now. And I've had a lot of successful students over that time period. And, different people grow their home businesses differently. And what I really want to do is something that I haven't seen other people do, is really highlight some of the most successful profit and recruiting models that me and some of my students have been using over the years. Because these are kind of evergreen things. They don't change. So I want to kind of lay them out for you so you can say that's the one for me. And now you have some clarity. You have a concise roadmap to follow to create the level of success you want to create in your business. Then finally, like what I said when we set this up, what I'm going to be sharing with you kind of at the end is what me and my team are doing in our home business. I know that's one of the biggest pieces of curiosity that people have is, well, yeah, this stuff is cool, these models work, but Daegan, exactly what are you doing? So I'm going to share with you guys what we're doing so you can steal it, copy it, do it if you want, and adapt it for your business. And then finally, what I'm going to do, which you don't see here, is I'm going to kind of lay down a roadmap. And as you guys can see here, we'll get back to this later when time is right. We're going to just kind of walk through the flow of creating a successful online home business. Before I get into my story, let me pull open our question and answer box and just ask you guys one quick question. If you guys have ever seen Jim Rohn do a live training or listen to him in some of the recordings of his live trainings, one of the first questions he asks before he gets started is everybody ready? So if everybody's ready, say I'm ready. And as soon as I see some excited people, we'll start walking down the path. I know some of you guys have heard of me before, and I know that some people that are showing up tonight to take part in this special and I think critically important training that will guide you to success in your business. That's what tonight is all about. I know that some people may be brand new and they haven't heard about me and you haven't really learned things from me. So I want to start by just kind of sharing with you my sort of trail of tears to getting it, just getting it and then starting to create success story. So if you guys don't know who I am or what I look like, let me, first off, I'll start here. This is my website. This is DaeganSmith.com. Now, in the future, this website's going to look different. This is just kind of like an intermediate view of this website. It's getting redesigned before your eyes. It's just a matter of time before it's super cool. And this is what's called a blog. And so we're going to talk a little bit about blogs later. If you don't know what a blog is or where it fits into your business, we're going to talk about where it fits into your business. And this is where you'll find my blog at DaeganSmith.com. As you can see up here in the corner, I've been, these days, I'm called the king of never calling a single lead. And although it's not important, it's just a name that I chose for myself way, way back just to kind of laugh about to help me over my biggest hurdle. At the very beginning of my business, I completely sucked at everything. I spent tons of money, and I'll get into some of the details for you newbies here, you guys that haven't heard my story yet, in just a few, and I didn't make a single dime and was met with rejection 100% of the time. So my biggest focus, my biggest thing I wanted to get good at was growing a home business online without having to pick up the phone. So the king of never calling a single lead was born. So let's go back, guys, and I'll go over here to my Facebook page. If you guys see over here on the Facebook page, this is a picture of me from back in college. Now I've got a few extra inches around the waist. I was pretty jacked back in those days. I could bench press about 440 at my height. Now, not so much so. But this is a picture of me wrestling in college. I went to Duke University, and I wrestled from the 6th grade all the way through college. And at least to me, being an athlete was one of the most, and at the point, I didn't know it when I was wrestling. It was one of the toughest things I ever did in my life. When I compare that to what I do today, it's like child's play. I mean, building a business is nothing like sweating off 10 pounds in 2 days and not eating for a week. So just so you can get on the mat and compete, right? And then doing it again in the next week and the next week and the next week. There's a lot of mental things you got to go through to do that. And I think being an athlete or having something really, if we want to pull back the curtain and condense it to what it really is about, something that you in your life kind of strived to want to get good at, and then succeeding at that, getting good at that thing. I think it's really one of the most pivotal growth points that any person can have in their life, because for me as a little kid, I was, 5 feet in the 6th grade, 200 pounds, sucked at wrestling. Freshman year in high school, I kind of lost some weight, got stronger, and decided that wrestling was what I wanted to get good at. And I just got to work. I mean, my goal was to be an all-Met wrestler here in the Washington, D.C. area. And I think somewhere on my page here, I have a picture of me being all-Met. I won't go and find it, but if you wanted to search the Washington Post for the year 1998, 1997 and 1998, in the all-Met section, you'll see me up there. And that was one of the most, it's an experience I'll remember for the rest of my life, because it's something I wanted so bad, I worked so hard for, and then finally achieved it. I think having an experience like that really molds you. And if you haven't had an experience like that, I hope the desire to create a successful home business online is that desire for you. I hope that you have a completely stern, concrete, diamond hard resolve to win. And if you do, you're going to be able to take what we go through here tonight and win a lot faster and a lot longer. So let's get back to the Trail of Tears story. Now, when I started in the home-based arena, the reason that I got started wasn't because I necessarily hated my job in and of itself. I was a traveling sales rep. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep in the Washington, D.C. area. What got me into the home business arena was not the job itself, was not hating it. It was that I remember one morning I got in the shower, and I realized I had done the same exact routine for the entire time I had had that job. And I thought forward 5-10 years down the road, and I said, well, what happens if I keep doing this? Well, maybe I'll get a couple of promotions, a 10-15% pay raise, maybe an extra 5 days of vacation 10 years from now, but is that really the life I want to live? And it shocked me, scared me. No, it wasn't the life I wanted to live, and hence I went searching. So the way that I actually found my way to this beautiful thing we call the internet by the way, the internet's only 15 years old. So if we put it in that perspective, the internet is like it's like a very young teenager. It still hasn't even figured itself out. But the way that I found myself to this amazing world called the internet was actually at a real estate seminar. I remember I'd gone because I was interested in creating wealth and you know, a different sort of a lifestyle for myself. And I thought real estate was the answer. At the end of this real estate seminar, a little short, fat, bald guy got up on stage and literally changed my life, guys. He got up on stage and he simply started talking about the internet and how he was making money online. And the thing that got me more than anything else was his passion. I remember the beads of sweat kind of falling off his brow as and I remember this clearly, as if it was yesterday. He pointed to the big screen and that he had the projector image showing on, and it was a page that he had online. It was the simplest page I'd ever seen in my life. It was a picture of a horse with a link under it, and he said, "You see this page? If I can make $1,500 a month with this page, everyone in this room can make money online." And for whatever reason, I believe this guy hook, line, and sinker. First thing I did was I went back and I went to Google. So if we can kind of pretend. Let's say we go to Google and we go to like let's go up here. First thing I did was I went to Google and I typed in something like how to make money online. And then I just started searching. I was clicking on people's ads here. I was clicking on stuff down here. And I found my way to a book. I remember it was called Google Cash. And it was written by a guy named Chris Carpenter. And it was all about playing in the pay-per-click world, and Google arbitrage is what it was called, finding affiliate programs, and then putting up little simple pay-per-click ads and creating profits just by matching up people that wanted that product with the product using Google as the medium. And I thought it was like the coolest idea in the world. So I got to work, and that was my door into the internet. Now, for the next probably year or so, I don't even know the exact time frame, I literally became addicted to the net, and I bought anything and everything, and I still to this day buy anything and everything because I believe to my soul that what we put in our head, our education, allows us to make the choices that eventually create wealth for ourselves. You take away the wealth and you still have the knowledge, you can create it again. And so I feel that there's nothing more secure, there's no more secure of an investment than I can make than to buy some information that's going to enrich my knowledge base. I bought everything. And my problem was, though, at that point, all I was doing was basically, you know, excuse my French, throwing shit at the wall to see what stuck. And the problem with that sort of approach is there's no focus whatsoever. None at all. I didn't have any success. Now, I had a couple little checks that came in, and that was really cool for me because it validated that there was something there. And times when people would click on my little ad and the commission would actually show up, was like, oh my gosh, there is something here. It was like magic to me. So it was the positive reinforcement that I needed to carry on. And so here's what happened. After that real estate seminar and throwing stuff at the wall and looking around, I somehow found my way to the concept of network marketing or building a home-based business online. And, you know, who knows how I got there? I have no idea. That's one thing that to this day, I can't even remember how I got there, but I was searching around in Google looking for stuff. And actually, I'll go here and show you guys something. We're going to talk about this a little later. If we look right down here, this is actually one of my little ads. I'm going to talk to you about banner ads in a little bit. And I actually think that if I go over here, just to give you guys something to look at as we go around here. Yeah, there we go. Kind of good to be all over the place, right? So we'll get back to all that stuff later. I found my way to network marketing, and I thought it was I became addicted to it. This is so cool. I can recruit people. I can work with a team of like-minded people. And, you know, as I bring people in, I make money off of them. And as they bring people in, I make money off of them too. And I create this just huge, this massive residual income base. And I can walk away, be rich, and go off into the sunset. Now, time passed, and I can't say that that's necessarily the reality. And that's one of the reasons that we're here. We're going to go through some stuff that's going to center us in reality. But in a sense, I kind of have at this point, after getting a base, understanding things and starting to work from the right perspective and do the right things, I have kind of walked off into the sunset. Right now I'm sitting, it's 2 p.m., I'm at my desk in Maui. I'm looking at palm trees out one window, and on the other window I can look out and I can see the ocean. That's not bad. There is the light at the end of the tunnel. There is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow if you do things right. Now, I found network marketing, and what I did was I said, okay, now I'm in this business. How do I succeed? So who do you ask that question to, right? I went to my sponsor, and he said, well, here's what you do, Daegan. You go and you buy leads and you call those leads. Here's your script. Use this script. And it's just a numbers game. Run through the numbers and people are going to join. So I've always been the full throttle sort of a person when I get my heart into something. So I start spending. I get myself a brand new credit card just for my brand new business. And I start spending $500 to $1,000 a month on leads. I call them. I remember I'm going to work during the day. And I remember I'm walking around to doctors' offices, and in between I'm walking from office to office down the street in downtown D.C., and I'm reciting back to myself my script so I don't forget it at night when I get a chance to go and call my leads. I certainly memorized that script, but after 6 or so months of spending money and calling leads, I didn't recruit a single person. And, I spent about $7,000 I didn't have with no way of knowing how I was going to pay it back. So it puts you kind of in a bind. And so what I want to talk to you about is the biggest mistake that I made at that point, which is this right here. If you guys can see, it's why buying leads is dumb. Buying leads is dumb. If you can just remember that for the rest of your life, you're going to succeed faster. Just remember that. Tell people that. Dude, buying leads is dumb. Here's why. The most important thing in your business, in fact, the paradigm shifting thing that took me from failure to success personally, was getting a handle on my own personal lead generation. There are levels of leverage. I was enamored by the leverage of the compensation plan in my original business when I got started. Look at all this money that I can leverage by creating an organization. But the paradigm shift that brought me success was, well, that's cool, Daegan, but I don't control that leverage. Where's the leverage that I can control? And what I realized was it's everything that comes before I actually put people into that downline, before I put people into that compensation structure. What I did is I got good at getting leads. Now, let me tell you why buying leads is dumb. It's dumb because you lack complete quality control. You're basically saying, hey, to some third-party company, you have no idea where they're generating leads from. And you're saying, hey, yeah, just send me some people's names and their phone numbers, and I'll trust you, and I'll pay you $5 each, and I'll call them, and I'll get rejected. That's not a good use of your money. I mean, it wasn't a good use of $7,000 of my money. And the thing that if you're going to spend money on that will bring back money more than anything else, it's getting your own leads. First, acquiring the knowledge that will allow you to get your own leads, and then paying and using your time to bring leads to you. Now, there's other levels of things that you got to do. We're going to talk about that and lots of other cool stuff. But buying leads is dumb. You're taking yourself out. You're removing yourself from controlling the most important thing in your business. Now, these days, I mean, I'm all about traffic. I'm all about lead generation. If we go here, we look at Alexa. This is my current business. Maybe you guys have heard of it. It's a business called Maximum Leverage. And if we look at the Alexa ranking, I mean, the Alexa ranking is, if you don't know what this is, Alexa ranks sites based on how much traffic they get. Number one means that site is the most traffic site. Number, 1 billion, it means you get literally no traffic. And in the world today, my little website that was started back in October of 2009 is, in the world, ranked 16,158. That's not bad. So traffic comes from leads. Or leads come from traffic. I said that backward, excuse me. Leads come from traffic. Why do I get traffic? Why do I focus on it? Why do I try to bump the amount of traffic I get? So I can get more leads. Why? Because that's the leverage I control. The more people that I can influence and I can share cool stuff with, like we're doing in this training right now, the more people that are going to come to know and trust me as a resource for information and training to get results in their business. And the more people I'm going to find that are going to be good partners, good fit for me and for them to work together. Why not make the probability of finding the most amount of those people easy? The way you do that is by getting your own leads, getting good at getting your own leads. So The other thing I want to talk to you about right now is this word responsiveness. Responsiveness. When I would buy leads from these lead companies, they would always say, we've got the most smoking hot leads in the world. You know, these leads come from TV. They see this infomercial, then they call us. And when they call us, we talk to them for 25 minutes. And we ask them, you know, what's their favorite movie? And we ask them, you know, what's their favorite food and who their best friend is, and we buddy up with them. And then we say, are you ready to start a business? And they say, oh, boy, I'm ready to start a business. And then we just hand them off to you. These guys are ready to go, right? That's what they try to sell you on responsiveness being. And so we're like, okay, I'll give you $15 per lead for one of those. Give me a bunch of those. How many can I buy? Believe a guy that's bought more than his share of those. Just because a person says that a lead is responsive does not mean that a lead is going to be responsive. Responsiveness, this is another one of those things that I want you to remember for the rest of your life. Responsiveness is not about what someone tells you. It's about the mental state of the prospect. It's about the prospect's mental state. Okay? So if you find a person that he's in a home business, for instance, let's use this example, and he wants to get started, he knows or she knows that she needs to get leads, but you know, they're running into roadblocks all over the place. And then you say, hey, I think I've got something that can help you get leads. Would that lead be responsive? And I would like to submit to you that the answer is yes. Because this person has this problem that's floating back in front and forth in their mind, and then you show up like magic and have the solution to that problem. That is responsiveness. What does that mean if we want to take that down one step? There's no way to buy a lead like that. You have to go and find them yourself. In my business, I focus mightily. I focus heartily on getting good at finding leads in those moments of passion. And there's lots of ways to do it. Again, we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. I want you just to remember for right now that responsiveness is a mental state. How much are they thinking about that thing? Another example is I am a hyper-responsive lead. I think about getting leads, growing businesses, direct response marketing, the home business arena, sharing, helping, learning new cool strategies, new cool cutting edge stuff every single day of my life. So you present me with something cool that I don't know yet. What am I likely to do? Buy it. It's about what's going on in their head, guys. It's not what someone tells you. Remember that. It's going to serve you well. The last final thing I want to talk about why buying leads is dumb is the method, and we kind of already implied this. The method of lead acquisition does not necessarily correlate to the lead's responsiveness. Meaning if someone says this lead was gotten because we sent them a postcard, or this lead was gotten because we showed them an infomercial, or this lead was gotten because magic happened and they just appeared, does not denote that that lead will be of any level of responsiveness. More than anything else, we facilitate responsiveness by warming our leads up to get to know us better. And we're going to talk about that too. Method of lead acquisition does not necessarily correlate to responsiveness. I can show you examples of free leads I've gotten that are extremely profitable to me. And I can show you examples of paid leads that I've gotten that have pretty much been like throwing money in the fireplace, like the story I told you, giving someone money to give me leads, dumb, but I learned my lesson. So hopefully you don't have to go through that. Let me pull back here and make sure everyone's with me. I'm always looking for opportunity. I think that's how an entrepreneur is, and I think that's a good quality to have. If you look here, I mean, if I was going to promote maximum leverage on the internet, and I went to this site called Alexa and I saw these keywords, these are the keywords that people mostly search for to find maximum leverage, I'd probably use them. And then I would say to myself, well, these are the keywords that people use to find maximum leverage. Are there keywords, can I do that for other sites to find out what keywords people are finding to find those sites? Maybe if I start to advertise on those keywords that other good marketers are paying money to create exposure around and awareness around, maybe there's some good opportunity for me to find cool people. So this is the opportunity mindset you want to always keep yourself in. I'm always looking, and that's right there. And so I hope you noticed that and you were having ideas, but I wanted to point it out. After my trail of tears, failing, getting rejected, I mean, I remember one time a guy, I was all excited, all right, I'm going to build this business. I'm going to build it. And this guy, I get on the phone, I'm like, hello, sir. Are you still interested in starting a home-based business opportunity? He pauses for a second, and in the most mean and, words I don't want to say, voice that I can say to you right now. He said, if you ever call my family again, I'll find a way to put you out of your misery, you miserable telemarketer. And it hurt. It hurt bad because I still remember it. And likely, I mean, if you're here with me, you've got war stories and scars just like that. But it was just one of those things. I was like, man, I'm just trying to grow a business, and you're just throwing out hatred at me. I thought I was trying to help. That's why buying leads isn't a good thing. Finding people that are on that wavelength with you, that'll change your life. That'll create wealth for you and them. Buying leads and then calling people out of the blue that might be eating dinner with their family and friends, I mean, if you want to step on landmines all day, go for it, and pay for it, but it's not the way I like. I quit that business, as you might imagine, and I said to myself, maybe finding a sponsor isn't the best thing to do right at the outset. See, because I thought this guy that I joined up with was, he was going to lead me to the promised land. But what I realized was, like, you kind of got to lead yourself to the promised land. So being a person that's always buying, learning, trying new things, I'm proactively during the whole entire time, I'm buying new stuff. And I come across this course called You Can Make a Living Online. I actually want to at this point, own resale rights to that particular product because it's meant so much to me. We go here this is what the Daegan Smith website used to look like. It's getting its facelift, so you'll see what it looks like later in the future. But if we go down here, and I think I still have it here, You Can Make a Living Online. Let's close that bad boy out right there. And we go to You Can Make a Living Online. This product right here, which I'm pretty sure the payment links are not updated for, which is probably dumb of me because it's something that I think a lot of people should own. And it really changed my perspective in a way that allowed me to create a successful business. And for that, I thank Dave, the creator of this product, a lot and often. And so what I want to share with you is I bought this course, and the biggest insight, it was a big old course. I paid $500 for it. All the cool stuff I learned in there, the one thing that stood out and to this day stands out to me that I teach and I share all the time is this guy Dave said, the biggest thing that causes people to fail online is they never focus. They never choose one thing to do.